mom asked me what my plans were for tomorrow. I told her that I had to wake up at 4:30 to go running and I needed to run at least 5 miles because I hadn't made it past 4 since last week and soccer tryouts were starting soon. I needed to get to school early to talk to Mr. Liner about my math homework, and I needed to print out my AP language essay from the library because that was due today. I had 5 AP classes today and I needed to catch up on the homework for those. And at lunch I needed to study for my calculus test and tell Kaylee that the journalism meeting was moved to Thursday. And when I get home, remind me to call Miss Renity because I really need to talk to her. And I know I need to babysit Jeremy, but can you make sure you're home by 6 because I have to go to dance, and on the way back I have to make cupcakes, and don't wait up for me because I have to go to the mall too, and I have to practice piano too. And unfortunately for many high school students, this schedule is not just something that's funny and that would be really cool if my life were that busy. It's reality, and their schedules really are that packed. And it's not just high school students, it's adults too. It's the mom who has kids and activities all across town that she has to take them to and has a job and has to make dinner. It's the single father who tries to keep in touch with parents on a different continent and make enough money so his kids have a good life and has a volunteer commitment. It's the retired nurse who babysits her 6 grandkids 5 days a week, holds a weekly family dinner, and runs 2 book clubs. Overscheduling is a vicious problem in America today, and it leads to numerous problems, including lack of sleep, stress, health problems, and low self-esteem. Overscheduling can lead to lack of sleep. As we have so many things in our lives to do, we often have to prioritize, and sleep is often last on the list of priorities. It's a luxury, it's a want, not a need, if I have time to do that, then I will. But how often do we have time for that? The National Sleep Foundation recommends 8 to 10 hours of sleep for teenagers and 7 to 9 for adults. How often do we get those hours? Not too often. We always have to work on a project, call a friend, talk to our neighbor, whatever our excuse, we have one. So we are neglecting this biological necessity, and when we do that, this leads to health problems, including obesity, diabetes, cardiovascular disease, and even early mortality, according to the Division of Sleep Medicine at Harvard Medical School. Overscheduling can also lead to health problems. Anisha Adams, in charge of adolescent medicine at Georgetown University, says a growing number of teenagers she sees complain of similar symptoms: exhaustion, irritability, depression, anxiety, and stomach problems, a consequence of so little free time. In America today, we tend to believe that if you're not doing something, you're wasting time. And we have so much to do, you can't afford to waste even a single second. So we subscribe to this philosophy of never a down moment, always on our way somewhere, always doing something. However, the American Academy of Pediatrics recently published a report that shows that play, or some available free time in the case of older children and adolescents, is essential to the cognitive, physical, emotional, and social development of well-being of children and youth. It goes on to say that play has multiple benefits, including including leadership skills, teamwork, creativity, and more. And John Pencabill, a British economist, also recently published a report that shows that if you take time out of your day to relax, when you do work, you will actually be more productive. Yeah, another disadvantage of overscheduling is stress. We have more than 24 hours of things we quote-unquote need to do, but there's only 24 hours in a day. And this stress can lead to exhaustion, stomach problems, anxiety, depression, anger, social withdrawal, chest pain and muscle pain, and more, according to the Mayo Clinic. So if this overscheduling causes stress, why do we just keep packing our schedules with things that we need to do? Maybe it's because we don't understand where the stress is coming from. WebMD cites having too much responsibility or heavy workload as a common stressor among Americans. And that's not the worst of it. As we become stressed, that can even lead to depression. Dr. Bob Block, president of the American Academy of Pediatrics, recently said that he's been seeing an increase in the rate of depression among kids, and he links it partly to overscheduled lives. We seem to think that, I'm depressed, I'll just join another club, I'll make a new friend, I'll do more, and then I'm not going to have time to feel sad and it'll all be fine. However, it's this attitude of more that caused our depression in the first place. As the definition of success has changed in America, so has our schedules. Merriam-Webster defines success as the fact of getting or achieving wealth, respect, or fame. This means that if we don't have a big enough house, if our car is not nice enough, if we're not CEO, then we have failed. So we decide to do more, and we work overtime so we can become CEO, and we take out a loan so we can buy that car. Whatever we do, we're doing this just to achieve success. However, it's really impossible for any one person to do all these things, so we feel as if we have failed. And that leads to low self-esteem, and low self-esteem can lead to aggression, worse economic prospects, poor mental and physical health, and social withdrawal, according to Psychological Science and American Psychological Association. We seem to believe that we have to make the varsity team and get the promotion and start a book club in order to become successful, when really that's just spreading ourselves too thin. John M. Grohl, psych doctor, says that many times people feel as if society wants them not just to do well, but to exceed expectations, to excel in everything they do. Chap Clark further explains, the pressure to succeed, whether on the athletic field, the classroom, or an endeavor that creates a sense of worth and accomplishment, represents an elusive, never quite good enough sense that students wear like a cloud. When they do something well, they believe it is only a step in the direction of adequate performance. We seem to believe that if we haven't gone above and beyond in every aspect of our life, if we haven't won the Olympic gold and are a New York Times bestselling author and made our own company, then we're failures, when really we're just not superhuman. Now, I don't know about you, but I really don't want my future to look like this, sad and depressing, and I'm stressed out, and I'm overscheduled, and I have health problems, and that's not what I want my future to look like. So what can we do about it? Well, first of all, we have to say no. You can only do so many things in your day, and so you have to say no to some things. Now, you may be asked to do lots of things, and they may be all good things, but they're not all good to do in one day. So it's okay to say no to one of them. That just means that you're human, which everyone is. Also, you should be sleeping for the full amount of time that you need every night, because you're going to have to make up the time sometime. Either now when you're sleeping and then you wake up refreshed and relaxed and happy, or later when you're sick and have to take time off from work. We also need to remember to relax. We need to take time out of our day to relax and read a book, talk to a friend, watch a movie. Whatever makes you relax, you should do that for like 20 minutes a day, and then when you do work, you'll be more productive. In order to stop feelings of failure and low self-esteem, we need to realize that we're each different people. And if your best friend is captain of the volleyball team, that doesn't mean you're a bad person. It just means you have different abilities. We also need to change the definition of success. Instead of being tied to money, power, and wealth, it should be tied to happiness. You should do things because you want to do them and because they make you happy, not because society says, do it and you'll be successful. Now, these are all easy things that anyone can do, but in order to really stop this problem, we need to do three main things. Use balance, use moderation, and prioritize. We have so many things in the air: work, school, jobs, family, friends, all these things, and we have to somehow keep them all working together. Now, Aristotle is quoted as saying moderation in all things, which is so relevant in society today. We seem to believe that if I tell you to do something, you're going to do it, and you're going to do it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. However, when I say you should relax every day, that doesn't mean watch college football for 12 hours today. It means take 20 minutes out of your day to do that, and then go back to work. We also need to use balance in our life, so we can balance all these things that we need to do. We should see that we have all these things going on and that we have to spend equal amounts of time on them. Instead of focusing all on one thing and going all in on that, we should kind of spread ourselves out so we don't get too stressed out. Additionally, we need to prioritize. We have to make a list of everything in our life that we need to get done and then organize it in order from most important to not so important. For example, if you feel like you need to have a color-coordinated house, I mean, that's cool, but it would be much more important to have a clean house. And as you prioritize, you can see that having a clean house is more important, and you will do that first, and then if you have time to color-coordinate your house, you can do that, but that would be last. Now, as you've seen, overscheduling leads to numerous problems. It leads to stress and health problems, lack of sleep, feelings of low self-esteem, and more. But we can solve it by using balance and moderation and prioritizing. As we do this, then if your mom decides to ask you what you plan on doing tomorrow, you can say, I plan on setting habits now that will help me for my future. I plan on sleeping for all the time that I need and taking time to relax and say no to things that stress me out. In short, I plan on making my future a happy, successful place to be.